Hey everyone, it's Stu. It's Stu Gaming. Welcome to my channel. So today, with it being Sunday, we're going to capture the whole week's worth of, well, what I think, not the whole week's, but the top news story of this week. And this is something I want to do to summarise the week for everyone, basically, instead of everyone having to read through endless amount of news and articles and feeds and all sorts. So essentially for today, what I've got for you is three news, two news stories and a topical story that I wanted to, well, not really a story, but a topical topic that I wanted to bring up as well. So essentially what we've got today is we've got the first big story of the day. Well, not the day, the week. And that is the story of Square Enix promising to bring games to Xbox whenever possible, in quotes. So this is an article from IGN, and essentially what's been going on in the news this week and last week is there was an announcement that Final Fantasy XIV will be coming to the Xbox. And essentially, what Square Enix did, the publisher of Final Fantasy XIV, during their FanFest event in 2023, they welcomed the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, to the stage. Now, this is big. So the game director, Yoshi P, what a legendary name that is, by the way. Imagine being called Yoshi P. What an awesome name. He welcomed Xbox. Well, he did welcome Xbox, and he welcomed Phil Spencer to the stage at this FanFest. They went through all sorts of stuff, and they announced that Final Fantasy XIV is coming to the Xbox. What's really interesting about this, you might think, well, what's such a big deal about that? This is a big deal because in the past, Square Enix have been known to have key ties with PlayStation only. They've had deals, exclusivities, marketing rights, etc. And everyone was at the point where they thought that any relationship Square Enix and Xbox was kind of dead and buried, under the water. It's gone. Never really going to see any decent Square Enix games on Xbox. They're never gonna get a look in, basically. And in the past, people were even talking about Sony and Square Enix partnering and an acquisition in the pipeline, potentially. But why this is such big news for this week is this article kind of goes the complete opposite way to that. Yes, people will say Final Fantasy XIV. So for those that don't know, as you'll see in the tagline just here, is Final Fantasy XVI is still a PlayStation console exclusive. So Final Fantasy XVI being the latest version of Final Fantasy that came out this year. Well, only a few weeks ago, actually. That's not what this is about. It's not about just this recent one. It's about the fact that there is a Final Fantasy coming to Xbox. And that's huge news for Xbox gamers. It's huge news for Final Fantasy lovers. Personally, hands up, I haven't touched a Final Fantasy game in ages. But I do understand the importance of Square Enix. They're such a big publisher, and I know Final Fantasy has a massive following, and rightly so. It's an awesome game. It's an awesome RPG game, it's a role-playing game. But what this really does highlight to me in this article is, if we skip down to the bottom, is Phil said, "Thanks for bringing me on, deeply respect Square Enix, yada yada yada, and the partnering closely with you and Square Enix team on future games." So that's a key line from this article here, future games. So everyone, including myself at some point, was like, wow, this stated war. Xbox have absolutely pulled this out of the bag, basically. I wasn't expecting this. People in the industry, deeper in the industry, might. I'm not in the industry at all. This is just my opinion. That, like I said, Xbox have no looking at all whatsoever. But it seems to do. Seems they have a chance, which is really interesting. So you've got extremes. You've got one extreme saying, "Oh well, PlayStation are now gonna get Marty and be angry with Square Enix," or "Oh my god, are Xbox gonna buy out Square Enix like they're doing with Activision Blizzard?" And there's some very extremes this week floating around, especially on social media. As we know, it's always extreme. And essentially, that's far out opinions. Focus back to the middle. The here and now is this is a result for Xbox. It's a result for anyone who enjoys these games because it's essentially more Square Enix games available to more people, and we want more people to play more games. Essentially, that is what we all want. So one thing to highlight here is one. Well, obviously it's massive, but also the key thing to highlight is that look, there's all sorts of old history of this. But the key thing to highlight is that on future games comment right there at the bottom where it's highlighted. With you and Square Enix team on future games. It's absolutely massive news. That's something I really wanted to bring up in this week's news. And we'll watch this one closely, I think, because we'll see how this one evolves into further and when that actually comes to Xbox. I think it says there in the article coming in spring 2024. So it's not soon, but it's a step in the right direction. And anyone who loves the series, it's more chance for them to play it everywhere. So absolute result. One other thing I wanted to bring, and this was like my opinion PC article. So this isn't really an article, but what's been going on here is this week is there's been a lot of news around bundles, especially with Spider-Man bundle for the PS5. So as you can see here in the picture here, this article from the who's it from? Games Radar, sorry. Article from the Games Radar a few days ago. They're highlighting that you can pre-order this Spider-Man bundle. So it's not really an article, it's more of an advertisement, if anything. But essentially, what I wanted to discuss with this was because I've seen a lot of noise around, oh my god, they've sold out in minutes. These are awesome, and they do look pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, they do look pretty cool. But and it was the same with Starfield stuff earlier on in the year around the Starfield watch and the controller. All these things that people are going absolutely insane for. But why I wanted to bring this up is because I want people to kind of like take a step back and think, actually, when you think about it, these games haven't even released yet. Like, look, I know it's happened in the past with bundles of like God of War, probably the one that stands out to me the most. But the rate and the hype that's gone on around this on, especially on social media, it's just been insane. And I literally just thought to myself that what if this, Starfield included, I'm not being biased, was an absolute flop? People are going mad for these. They're scalping them. They're selling them for more, buying, selling them for more. Sold out in 2 minutes. What if this is flop? Who knows? I just wanted to leave that little nugget there because I'm not sure about these bundles. This is my opinion piece. I don't think it's a good idea. Not something that's not tried and tested. Now people will say Spider-Man is tried and tested. Yes, the first game was very, very good, but you just don't know. It could even get delayed, for example, and people have got these boxes and all this stuff. But what I'm trying to say is it's not the fact of the bundle because, like I said, it looks really cool. If someone wants that in their living room or game setup, I'm not knocking that. It looks awesome. Fair play to you. If you want to buy it, buy it. What I'm saying is the whole power this gets like spun into on social media, and it just fuels them console wars. So I'm just going to watch this one of any more news around this, and any more news about bundles and stuff like that in the future, and gear and hardware, software and stuff like that that really just add fuel to the fire, to be honest. So, and the last one I wanted to go through, this one is more not so much opinion piece. This is my favourite article of the week. You can now Venmo new Xbox games. Simple headline, straight to the point. So this is an article by Tom Warren from The Verge, and he's basically saying that Microsoft had partnered with PayPal to bring Venmo support to the store. This is awesome. So the more you look into this and the more you go into detail, is what they're saying is you can now buy a game as you normally would, but you can split them payments out in future, which is great. We all know we can do that with hardware. We all know that we can do that with sofas. We can do it with uh, cars. Buy now, pay later. You see it everywhere. But this is a really, really big piece for the gaming space because we've never seen this before. So the new option can even be used for Game Pass subscriptions as well. And what it says at the end of the article is PayPal's this is Tom Twister. PayPal's pay later option is a way to spread payments over weeks or months. This is huge. So you think of this year, 2023 has been an absolute insane year. We've had Diablo, we've had Hogwarts, we're gonna have Starfield, we've had Star Wars, we've got obviously Spider-Man, which we just talked about. We've got all these big hitters that people these days they're like $70, 70 quid worth of games. You want three of them, you're pretty skint. You've really rinsed your pay packet this month if you want to pre-order of these. And I think I wanted to call this out because, and I think we'll watch this one as well because this really opens up the space for people who love multiple franchises, but also opens up space for people who aren't too sure. It's like, oh, I want to buy that game, but it's $70. Oh, but if I pay £5 a month or something, it's not that bad. Um, I'd recommend using this option more on trial and test. It's something you're more sure about rather than stuff you're not so sure about because you want to use it on your key games like your Call of Duties, your Starfield, your Spider-Mans, your God of Wars, all of them big hitting games. You know you're gonna want them. You're gonna want them games at some point. So this is a huge thing. So this looks like it's rolling out to Microsoft Store, US, UK, Australia, Germany, France, Spain, and Italy. Will now include PayPal Pay Later support with an option to use Venmo, which is more US focused. So I'm not going to get to that because I don't know Venmo that much. Hands up from the UK. We don't really use it to be honest, but we do know PayPal. So this is huge. Absolutely great news. This is the kind of news we want to talk about, not stupid hate news or drama or people getting laid off. We don't want to hear that. This really will help us gamers. This will really help us out, and I'm very interested to try this. Very interested to start trying this. So I'm not sure when this is happening. I think it might be live now. Someone please correct me for its own store. Venmo support Xbox Store just months after Amazon added. Ah, so Amazon added it as well. I didn't know that. So there you go. You learn something new every day. And this is great. I think this might be live now. So people try it. People let me know if you have tried it. Drop some notes in the comments. Drop me a message on Twitter. And let me know what you think of this. I'm really excited for this. I think this is an absolute game changer. Literally, is going to help if we have another year in 2024 or later this year with such heavy hitters that we've had this year. Combine this on top of Game Pass subscriptions and stuff as well. It's just another deal in gaming that helps us all at the end of the day. So yeah, I wanted to shout that out. As I said, drop me a note in the comments about this if anyone's tried it yet. What do you guys think? Do you think this is good? Do you think it's not so good? I'm interested to see people why you think it wouldn't be that good. Um, and anything from the previous articles we went through as well, the stuff about Square Enix and Xbox. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's a smoke without fire situation? Do you think it means more than it is of just one game coming to Xbox, or do you simply just think it's just one game? It's fine. Like it's not going to change the world. Personally, I think it's a big stepping stone. And what do you guys think as well about the Spider-Man stuff we went through? Well, not just the Spider, but the bundle stuff. See, that was just a personal opinion I threw in there, but the bundle stuff is going off the scales on social media and stuff. That's why I brought that stuff up. I wouldn't normally, but you guys let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed this news video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, drop me a message, give me a follow on Twitter. You'll find all that information on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great week. Stay happy, keep gaming, have fun. See you soon.